Hi. I've taken the month of April off from yoga, but I will be teaching some classes in May, and I decided that I would concentrate a little bit on my home practice. So today I thought I would offer a video of what I do when I get down on my mat at home. No classes, no teacher, just doing spontaneous things that make my body and soul feel better. So as you know, I've been doing a lot of yin yoga, so most of this work will probably be yin poses. So if you want to do the practice with me, I recommend that you get some pillows for propping and some place where you can spread out the whole length of your body, and we will do maybe 30-45 minutes of practice of yoga today. So let's begin. So first thing we're going to do is lie down on the mat. So have your props handy and then make yourself comfortable on your mat. Just sink down into the mat with your torso. Keep your knees bent at first because this allows the upper body to really soften, to let the spine release down to the mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it fall out of your mouth. Begin to do an inventory of how your body is feeling, starting at the back of your head. Is your head relaxing and soft on the back of the mat? Is your jaw relaxed? Your eyes soft? Gently just move your head from side to side to start loosening up the neck. And then bring awareness to your shoulders, scooping the shoulder blades underneath to open up the front of the chest and the collarbones. You may open up your wrists too, so that your palms are facing the ceiling. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And let it fall out of your mouth. Allow the spine to soften, soften, soften. Bring your awareness to your pelvis, sacrum, the tailbone, the back of the hips, and just maybe do some gentle sways from side to side, not too vigorous, just allowing the spine to really settle down onto the surface. And then take another deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. At this point, you may choose to lengthen out your legs, taking the feet to either corner of the lower mat. Allowing the backs of your calves to soften, the heels to be heavy, and the toes to relax outward. Another deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. At this point in the practice, I generally form an intention, since I'm doing this most likely in the morning, I will create an intention for my practice and for my day. My intention for this practice and this day is to be in the present moment. Precious present moment. Present moment, wonderful moment. The only moment we have. Generally in a yin practice, you will begin with cold joints, but sometimes I believe because I have an older body and because I do have some issues with my joints, I do start with a very gentle joint release just to kind of, give them a heads up on what's coming. So I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to bring my fingertips to my shoulders and lift the elbows up to the ceiling and begin to gently bring the elbows together and bring them apart. Nice gentle movements with breath. Exhale apart, inhale together. And just do several of these at your own pace, checking in with your shoulders and making sure to keep your chin in line with your forehead, not letting it rise up, which you might want to do as you do this expansion of the collarbones. And then when I bring my elbows back up to the ceiling again, I'm going to inhale my elbows up towards the top of my mat and then exhale them down to the waist. Nice gentle movement, opening up the side body and the triceps, not to mention all those little complex connective tissues in the shoulders. And then dropping the elbows down to the mat, I'm going to do some half snow angels, just sliding those upper arms up towards the top of the mat and down towards the waist. Just a few gentle shoulder openers. One more, slide those elbows up and drop them down. And then bring the forearms down, palms up, and just check in. Notice the sensations where I have done some work. And I'm going to move the joint release down to the hips. So taking the feet wide, I'm going to begin to take my knees from side to side, working the sides of the hips, the waist, just freeing up nice, easy breaths. And back to center. So let's draw the knees into the chest. And starting with placing my hands behind my thighs, relax the shoulders and the upper arms, relax the jaw, and just allow those knees to soften. Now, if this is very comfortable, then bring your arms onto your shins. You can feel that stretch in the back body. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then I'm going to drop my left foot down onto the mat, keeping the knee bent, and extend that right leg feeling the sits bone heavy on the mat, push out through the heels, squeeze the muscles together to the bone, spread the toes, and just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So wake up that leg and release. Switch legs. Bring the left leg up, drop that sits bone to the mat, push that heel up to the ceiling, spread the toes, squeeze the muscles to the bone, squeeze, 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 and release. So there are two joints we haven't, well, there's lots of joints, but the two major areas we haven't awakened yet are the wrists. So just rotate your wrists. You can keep your hands open first. Rotate them several times in one direction, and then rotate them several times in the other. Make some fists, shake your hands out, lift them up, and then drop them down by your sides, and we'll do the same. We'll take the right foot up and rotate that right ankle, and then rotate it in the opposite direction. Shake your leg out. Lift that left foot up, rotate that ankle. You kind of get a sense now of where your body's at from how you slept and maybe what you were doing the day before. I do a lot of sewing, so usually my right wrist seems a lot bulkier than my left wrist. And then shake that foot out. Now, I'm going to roll over to our side. I'm going to roll over to my right side and use my left hand, push myself up to seated. Now, I have to be honest with you, some days that's all I want to do. And I'm just too antsy. I get up off the mat. I say, yep, I need some more cardio type of work. So in that case, I may go back in the evening and do my yin practice. And if I do my yin practice in the evening, I do notice it's like taking a sleeping pill. It's just so relaxing. But at this point, I usually have some water, so I hope you have some. And we're going to begin with our first yin pose of the class. So this is butterfly pose, and we're going to do it with a little bit of a twist here. I don't mean a real twist, I mean a twist in the action. So I'm going to put a pillow or a block, and I'm going to bring my feet together on that block, push back on my sits bone so that I can move forward, and then take my props and place them under my knees. The key with yin is to allow the muscles and bones to relax so that the joints can really soften. So depending on your flexibility, you may need more props, or you may want to bring your feet in a little closer if you want more sensation in the inner thigh area. So we're going to start like this, and we're going to fold forward. So I happen to have my roller right here. So I'm going to use my roller as a prop to fold forward so that I don't strain my neck. In fact, I'm thinking because it's early in the morning, I may want even more propping here. So I'm going to actually get my big bolster, and I'm going to put it right in front of me. And we're going to come down into a butterfly forward fold for a couple of minutes here. So listen to your body, fold forward. You can leave your hands on the bolster. If you still feel you need propping, if your head starts to really sag down, you can grab some more props, anything so that you can really relax. Bring your hands down as far as they'll come comfortably and come into this butterfly forward fold. I'm going to give you another option too before we start. If you have a roller, you can just use your head like this to relax on the roller. That way you have no strain or no stress. So I think I might do that. Actually, is that going to work? It's not going to roll. No, it's going to roll away. All right. So anyway, long story short here. This is every morning. Decisions, decisions. So come into your forward fold.
Take a nice deep breath in and allow your joints to completely relax. We call it in Yin finding your edge. Take a deep breath in and slowly walk your hands back and very, very gently release the pose. When you release a pose in Yin, you want to be very, very deliberate, not rush the pose out. So we're going to remove our props. Keep your legs where they are, and then just bring your hands behind you and lift up your heart space. Just a little counter pose to the forward folding. and then come back up, and we're going to leave the right leg bent and take that left leg out to the side as far as it will go. Move that pillow under the right foot, and then just bring that right leg right in towards your groin. So I could continue to leave a prop under my right knee because I want to feel it supported. I don't want to feel any strain. If you have tight hips or tight knees, this is really helpful. You don't want to overdo your stretching. This way you can strengthen your meniscus. A lot of people have kind of dried out meniscus at a certain level of maturity, if you know what I mean. So we're sitting here in a wide-legged half forward fold, and we're going to take another prop and place it on the outside of that left leg. You may need more props, probably do, it's morning. So I'm going to take my bolster, or you could take bed pillows, couch pillows, and we're going to turn towards that left leg, and we're going to fold forward over the left leg. So again, listen to your body. Want to relax that head, so you want to put it on a prop. And we're just going to bring the hands down by your sides, and we'll stay here for a bit. So again, soften through the shoulders. Feel that left heel reaching out as that left hip reaches back to get that length in the left leg. Should not be straining. You have enough props so that you feel completely relaxed in the pose. Keep softening. If it gets to be too much, you can back off, prop up some more. This is a very strong pose for the low back and side body, or anywhere. I mean, it depends on what's going on in your body where it's a strong pose. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Slowly come up. And come back to center, and then let's twist around towards the right leg. You can leave your left hand on your right knee or right thigh, and your right hand behind you, and just twist to the right as a counter pose. And then inhale, come back to center. And before we do the other side, we're going to do a rebound, which is to lie down on your mat and feel the effects of the work that we did on this side of the body. So make your way down onto your mat. And just relax and feel the sensations. So let's bend their knees and roll over to your left side and make your way up to seated. And have a little bit of water. So we're going to come into that half wide-legged forward fold on the other side. So you're going to lengthen out your right leg and bring that left knee in towards your groins, and you can support that left knee if you need to with some pillows or more pillows, however many you need. Sit up tall. Place your props on the outside and on the top of your right leg if you require props. And we're going to fold forward over that right leg. Again, find your edge. It's not what the pose looks like, it's what the pose feels like that's important. So ideally you would feel some stretch on the left side of the body and on the outside of the left hip and other places, depending on your body and your flexibility. Inhale. Very, very slowly, let's come up. Push those props away. And then we're going to rotate around, face that left knee, and place your right hand on your left knee and your left hand behind you and twist towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. And move all my paraphernalia to the side here. Lengthen out that left leg. So before we come into our next pose, I want you to have handy either your roller, a pillow, or a block. And then we're going to lie down on the mat with that, whatever you're going to be using. We're going to put that under our sacrum. So whatever you would be using, you want to have it handy. So we're going to make our way down onto the mat. And just take a couple of breaths and rebound. You may notice you feel more even now that we've stressed both sides of the hips. And then bend your knees and just briefly bring them in and hug them into your chest. Drop your feet down onto the mat, and depending what you're going to put underneath your sacrum, depending on how comfortable you feel, it's a little bit of a back bend. So you're going to lift up your hips and put your prop right on your sacrum, not on your rib cage or your spine. So it's going to be a comfortable position, and you want to just stay here for a few breaths to feel the low back settle. This releases the lumbar spine and the sacral spine. Just a nice counter move to all the forward folding we've been doing. And then if it works in your body, you can lengthen out your legs and you'll feel an even stronger stress on the tops of the thighs where they connect to the torso. It's a great feeling if you get used to it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable at first, but it does counteract all the sitting we do. So it is excellent for your spine and your nervous system. Now, for those of you who want a little bit more sensation in the top of the thigh, you can draw one knee in and put your hands either behind your thigh or on top of your shin. Push out through that opposite heel, and you'll get a great stretch in the front of the thigh, in the hip flexors. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. So on an inhale, release the leg that you had brought in if you did, and we're going to bring the other leg in and hands either behind the thigh or on top of the shin. Relax the shoulders and jaw and just stretch out that heel that's in the extended leg. Release the bent leg, straighten it out, take a few breaths here. Maybe some exhales through the mouth. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift up, remove your prop. And bring your hips back down to the mat. Arms out to the sides and do some windshield wiper movements. Our last pose before Shavasana will be a twist with tiger pulling its tail. So let's draw the left knee into the chest. Lengthen out that right leg. Bring your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Take your left arm out to the left. And then draw that right knee over, that left knee, over to the right and prop it up. I'm going to use my big bolster for this. Now the arms can be out to the side. Now this is just a nice crocodile twist. If you want to add a little something something for your other leg, you can slide that right heel up towards your buttocks and grab it with your left hand and maybe scissors your legs further apart. And now you have what's called cat pulling its tail or tiger pulling its tail. So you're getting a really good stretch. But you can also use a strap here if you want to try it, but you can't reach that thigh back too far. We're just going to stay here for a bit. Take a deep breath in, slowly release that right foot, lengthen out that right leg. Help the left leg come back to center. Lengthen out both legs and feel that rebound. Feel that energy flowing through the torso, the hips, the legs, and feet. And grab, if you had a prop and you want to switch it to the other side. I'm going to draw that right knee in. place the left hand on the outside of the right knee, and then keeping the left leg straight. Draw that right knee over to the left. And you can stay here in the twist, or you can add the cat pulling its tail. Ooh, hamstring. And come into a both side of the hips twist. Try to soften. And remember, it's what it feels like, not what it looks like. So if you're feeling a good stretch in the hips or in the front of the thighs or the collarbones, or it's opening up some of that connective tissue, allowing the chi to flow smoothly through your entire body, keeps you healthy, keeps your stress level down, activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Take a deep breath in, slowly lengthen out that left leg, bring the right leg back to center. Lengthen out both legs. You can take your feet wide on the mat. You can bring your arms out to the side for Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and toes. Make any small movements that will bring you back. Lengthen out your legs, point your toes, bring your arms up overhead and take a stretch. Nice deep breaths. And then roll over to your side. I don't really care which side you roll over to. Bend your knees. I think it depends on your shoulders and hips, which feels better. So roll over into a fetal position. Stay here for a bit. If you made an intention at the beginning of the class, you may want to be reminded of your intention. And then slowly make your way up to seated. Come into a comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me for this impromptu class. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like, you can check out my Facebook page, Inward Mobility, to find out what classes I'm teaching. Namaste.